South Sudan appears to be on the verge of a renewed civil war following a declaration of war by the opposition group led by ousted First Vice President Riek Machar. The United Nations mission in South Sudan has reported heavy artillery and gunfire exchanges between the SPLA and the SPLA in opposition. David Lomuria has this report.
In South Sudan, fighting has continued for weeks in various parts of the country, killing hundreds of civilians and displacing thousands amid a looming humanitarian catastrophe. Fighting involving the use of artillery and heavy gunfire has continued in the towns of Lair and Ye. Civilians have been targeted and killed along ethnic lines. South Sudan's government, however, says it has not attacked rebels' positions, alleging the current fighting is led by unknown gunmen.
These rebel groups, these terrorists who are terrorizing the civil population on these roads, are people who have decided to cause havoc to the civil population so that there is no stability.
South Sudan's former First Vice President Riek Machar has continued to call on opposition forces within the country to mount armed resistance to the government of President Salva Kiir. Machar fled the country amidst the outbreak of fighting in Juba between government and opposition forces in July 2016, on the eve of the country's 5th independence anniversary. Thousands were killed and at least 2 million civilians displaced. In the capital, Juba, it's business as usual, but the impact of July's violence is vividly clear. The country's economy is facing more than 600% inflation. Prices of basic goods in the market have shot up fivefold, far beyond the reach of many South Sudanese.
Let them sit down urgently and meet and tell us the way forward. After these incidents, what is next? Because up to now in the streets, in the normal citizens, people are feeling that the peace agreement have come to an end, though we are aware that transitional government of national unity have met at the level of the Council of Ministers, but we need to hear from the principals. What is the way forward?
The United Nations Security Council voted to deploy an additional 4,000-strong troops to protect civilians, foreign nationals, and key government installations.
We don't want to enter into disputes between the various parties, but we as the international community want to promote the peace agreement. We also are speaking to members of the transitional government. We believe the peace agreement is alive, not dead. It is something which needs to be built and, in some cases, to be rebuilt.
South Sudan's government says it welcomes the move by the UN Security Council, but wants to have a say on which countries contribute forces to UN peacekeeping missions in the country. The United Nations currently has 12,500 peacekeepers in the country, with a mandate to protect civilians taking refuge in UN compounds across South Sudan.